All right. Welcome to the show, folks. Hey, if you don't know me yet, my name is Mike Asherbrenner, professionally known as the Redneck Connector and proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community. And you are tuning in to Mike King Biz Radio on ESPN RVA 106.1 FM. Woo, we have been on a run if you've been listening every single week. I know you have. And today we're bringing it again. You all get ready, folks. Most business owners, man, they say, I need more customers. Right? Jean says what they really need is a dadgum strategy. And Jean Kuhn, she'll be joining us in a minute, but she didn't walk her way into business success. No. She shocked it back to life, folks. So when most people would run from a bankrupt business. Jean bought two of them, right? Flipped them in less than a year and added 100,000 to each of them's bottom line. And the kicker, she did it with no mailing list, no ad budgets, no sugar daddies, nothing. So known for her sass, wit, and no fluff strategy, she spent decades helping entrepreneurs stop stressing about what they don't have and start using what they do have and do need to grow. So let's go. She doesn't inspire, she ignites. Oh, you're about to get ready, folks. So let's do it, and we'll see you right in a minute.
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope, we turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations? Well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success? It's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness, just like crawfish and singing on a Friday night.
All right, folks. Hey, there's no question this lady knows about crawfish and singing on a Friday night. She knows everything. She's been there all around the world. Let's bring her up. Jean Kuhn, everyone. Woo!
Hey, thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me here today.
Are you kidding me?
All around the world. I've been all around the United States. That's it.
Well, I don't even leave my office shed, dadgummit. So you beat me, hands down. So welcome to the show. We met from our good friend and hound, Nicole Borghi. And now it's like spaghetti, right? We got, Phil, the connector Harrington, blah, blah, blah. And I love that, right? Good birds of a feather flock together.
Right.
Proof positive. So who we got? We got some fun. We had internet issues. I won't go into that. So thank you all who are on the live stream right now at the different time. Oh, look, Deborah Jackson. Yes, ma'am. Your intro to Jean is coming. You don't have to even ask. All right. So let's dive into it because dadgummit, 30 minutes ain't enough. All right, Jean, you said you sprinted into business the day you became a mom in 1985.
Yeah, mostly because I didn't want to go back to a job I hated, right? So my grandfather was an entrepreneur. My mom was an entrepreneur. So obviously I have the family gene somewhere. And so I just decided I'm just going to start a business. And it went like you might imagine, like it does for most people. It went like, oh, that's a bad idea. But
Yep.
I'm trying to raise a baby and trying to figure out how to make money. And I had to figure it out. Right. And it only took me, Mike, 28 years to figure it out. That baby was 28 years, Mike, by the time I figured it all out. He's 40 now, though. He just turned 40, and I have managed to stay as an entrepreneur for 40 years.
Good. I'm about 15 years in. So that's really hopeful and helpful to me. That's inspiring. Folks listening out there, oh, it took me a year or two, and I haven't figured it out yet. Join the club. I don't know where they got this microwave, instant success, but it's been more like a crock pot, Jean, right?
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to be an entrepreneur. And it's hard to be an entrepreneur and have any sense of like people talk about work-life balance. Do you have work-life balance?
No,
I don't either.
no.
I don't even know what that is. I think it's a made up word because I don't think you can be a successful entrepreneur and have work life balance. There's balance at some times, but not all the time.
You know, I love that. Thank you. See, I told you all, and we're amping it up, folks. Get ready. But every time I take a step, I'm off balance. I think I heard someone say that. So here's what I like to harmony. Harmony is much different. It might be 80% focused on business for a week or two because that's what it takes. But then I do what I need to do. I automate. I get things to the next level. Then I spend time rejuvenating, spend time with my daughters, right? This is what you are very, very well at. You're so good at this. And I love that because you could have just settled. So many people settle, Gene, right? Like, oh, well, it's hard. I failed. And, you know, why can't I just get a job and be happy like everyone else? Why can't I just do my 30, 40 years and retire like everyone else?
Oh, who says that? Wait, I need to know their names. Let's get them down on paper. Let's call them up. Let's harass them. Who says that?
People who they're not people like me, you know that. And listen, if you have a job and you're happy and you're great, we're not knocking you, but there's so many people out there that want to, you know, create an impact. You know, they want to build their own business, not someone else's. And if that's you, that's why we got Gene. So go real quick to genesfreegift.com, genesfreegift.com. 5 no-cost, low-cost marketing strategies right here, courtesy of Gene. So let's dive into it.
Okay.
Most people run from bankrupt businesses, and you bought 2 of them, right? And you added $100K to each of them.
Yeah.
So tell us about that, and then what gave you the guts to take that leap?
Okay, you know, that's so funny you said that because I've never told this story before, and it just popped into my head. I believed my mom, and listen, moms are moms, and you know, daughters and moms are like, right? But I believed my mom when I was little, and she said, "You can do anything you want to do." And I did, right? I've done anything I've wanted to do, and including be an entrepreneur when I knew I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go back to I don't want to work someplace where I, number one, hate the job and I hate the people. And I'm not a hater, right? So I would rather quit that job than hate those people and the job. But I also didn't want to leave a baby at home. This is about the time nanny cams were coming out. And people were, you know, posting all kinds of pictures about the abuse that their babies were taking. And I'm like, listen, I had one baby, my third baby, good thing I was not an abuser, right? Because it would have been so easy. And I don't mean that to be flippant. I mean the fact that he had colic and he cried 97% of the day, right? So I understood at that point how some parents could get overwhelmed. But that only lasted for 6 months. Then we were over it.
So it was a combination of feeling like, you know, we're scared to do this. We're scared to go into this uncharted territory. But it sounded like, if you're like me and a lot of folks, you were more scared of not doing it. Right? It was more of a, you know, the scale tips, right? You just get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never thought of it that way. I thought of it as the fact that I don't want somebody else controlling my time. I don't want to ask listen, I don't know if my bio there that you posted gives anybody any indication. I don't want people telling me what I can and cannot do. I don't want them telling me what time I can take off and I can't go see my babies in a Christmas pageant if I wanted to leave work and go. Like, no, you can't go. What do you mean I can't go? I'm going, right? I almost put a bad word there.
No, you sound just like my mentor. Here's what he says. He says, I don't want to build someone else's goals and dreams, dadgummit. I want to build mine. I want to have my success. And he's not mad at them. Look, they did it. They built theirs. I want to build mine. And this is, so let's dive right into it before I have to cut us off. Let's get straight into the turnaround, quote, secrets, right?
Yeah.
Again, there's no secrets, just stuff you don't know yet. But Gene's going to tell us. So
yeah, so I have 5. I have 5 I'll share with you. And you can get them downloaded, and there's some other stories in there. Is that what you want, Mike?
Yeah, well, you didn't have a list, a website, a marketing budget. Right. And so a lot of folks like that. People ask me, where's your this and that? I was like, I didn't buy that because I don't have a need for that yet until I do. So a lot of folks like you didn't have websites, lists. They're just building from dirt and scratch like us. How did you pull it off? What did you do? What are some of the main principles?
Okay, so first of all, my motto, what is it? Mantra.
Mantra.
My mantra is if it's not fun, I'm not doing it.
Ah,
Number one, right? And so I made all of the marketing that I did fun. And I started off with on the first anniversary. I actually started earlier than that, but the one big story I remember is on our first anniversary of owning that first bankrupt business. I had just added $100,000 to the bottom line. It was our anniversary. And I'm like, how can I make this fun? So do you remember, Mike, when you went to elementary school, did you guys ever have like elementary school carnivals? And then there would be that blanket up there and somebody would throw a fishing pole over it. And then you got a little prize tied to that and then came back.
yes.
So I called it the Ducky Anniversary Party. I took little floating ducks that I got at Oriental Trading and I put numbers on they all had birthday hats on because anniversary, it was our first birthday. And I put numbers on the bottom of them and I floated them in some blue sugar because if you put them in water, they went butt up. So I put them in some blue sugar. And when I knew, now here's the thing, you've got to know some things, right? I knew our average customer ticket was $8. I was in a brick and mortar retail business. I knew our customer ticket was $8. I wanted it to go to 12. How do I get it to go to 12? How do I get it to go to 12? Right? I'm asking myself that. So I came up with this ducky thing that when they came in and they spent $12, they could pick a ducky, would have a number on the bottom that coordinated with some prizes that I had on a chart there by the register, right? So we did so well with that promotion. And both of these businesses that I bought were franchises that were bankrupt. We did so well with that promotion that the franchise called me and they said, what are you doing? Because we've never had a promotion sell that many units before. Like they're doing spend $5, get a free candy bar or something. Deborah, the year that was probably, well, that would have been 2003.
Wow.
Yes, because I bought that store in 2002. So it would have been in 2003 that happened. So it's just that kind of thing. It's like, how can you make your marketing fun? Because if it's fun for you and it's fun for your clients, who's losing?
Oh,
Who's losing? Right?
that, you could be my spirit animal. I did this. Here's two things I hear you affirming that I say like a parrot all the time. Define life and success for your daggum self. Number one, you looked at that and you didn't do it by just making things up and running around blind. You said, hey, tickets are 8. I want it to be 12. How do I do it?
Right.
You took something and you looked at it from a different angle. And courage before confidence. It could have went really well, which it did, or it could have been really not well, and you didn't care. I want people to understand that because if it didn't go like you planned, you would readjust and do it again and again
Exactly.
until you decided to do something else, right?
And I think you're right. I think people if it doesn't work the first time, they just stop, right? They're like, that didn't work. I knew it was going to work on the first time when the guy came in and spent $6 and he's like, hey, how do I get to pick one of these duckies? And we said, you have to spend 12. And he gave his wife one of these, like, we need to buy a little more. And they spent the $12 and he got to pick his ducky.
Ooh, and when we give a shout out, I want to emphasize something you just hit on. You knew who to talk to, right? You knew who that was going to be the one buying the thing, right? And you spoke their language. And you did it in an honest way. He didn't have to do it. Nobody, it wasn't manipulation. It was just smart. Hey, I like that. It's clear to me. Let me get that.
Right.
Wow. And folks, they say, is that simple? In my opinion, it is. It doesn't mean it's easy, folks, but it doesn't have to be over complex, right? So let's dive into Jean. She's behaving. Somebody come up here and get her going. We want to see Jean, all right? And we'll put you back on the HOB Live because that's where we get rowdy, right?
Okay, well, we can get rowdy. You asked me a question. I've got some strong opinions about a lot of things, Mike.
Well, we'll give it to them in the HOB. All right. So real quick, want to give a shout out, Mike King Biz Radio. Love our partnership, my friend. He is so awesome that he pushes up his community and organization like hardly anyone does. He's so cool that they put him on the Jumbotron at the ball games in Virginia. All right. And very humble man. So we appreciate our partnership. And thank you for bringing this opportunity to the forefront. We can push winners like Jean up and inspire a whole slew of folks to go out there and make an impact and leave a legacy. That's what this is about. So if you want to know more, shameless plug, Hounds of Business on YouTube. You can watch this live if you're on the radio listening in. You can also find me at Redneck1, Mike Asher-Brenner on LinkedIn, or you can send an old school carrier pigeon. Weather pending, I still take those. All right. So we are back with Jean Kuhn, and she is diving into how she turned two bankrupt businesses into successes and the principles behind that, folks, how you can get started. Before we get back into Jean's brain, go to Jean, Jeans, jeansfreegift.com. That's where you'll find her 5 no-cost, free to you, low-cost marketing strategies. Jeansfreegift.com. There's no fluff here. She doesn't even know the meaning of the word, y'all. So, all right, let's get back into it because you covered a lot of this. Go ahead if you want to piggyback off.
I just wanted to say quickly, if the first 11 people that go there and get that are going to be offered a free call. So if they do that, as soon as it pops up that you've registered for the freebie, then make sure you see the calendar link and book that call, because when they're gone, that you won't get any. There won't be any more there to. It'll just stop sending them calendar links.
Okay, folks. Hey, listen, it's not a marketing ploy that she don't play games. So 11 means 11. All right. It doesn't mean 11, 10 weeks from now with emails. Okay. So go grab these because I love your style. This is value. And Jean's like I am, like the Hounds are. We'll give a bunch of value because if it works, let's do more. If it doesn't work, we didn't waste your time and money. Imagine that. So let's dive into it because I love this. What's in your opinion, in your vast experience, what's the biggest myth business owners believe about needing more money to grow, and how did you bust that?
Because here I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna answer it a little bit differently. I think the biggest myth is that when there's a downturn in the economy, that you must stop your marketing immediately and save your money. That is the biggest mistake I see small business owners making. This is one of those things I get a little hot about, right? They make this mistake and they won't learn from it, right? When the market turns south, the first thing you should do is double down on your marketing, right? And stop trying to save that money because everybody's doing that. And the people that are out there who are willing to double down on their marketing will be the ones who are a success when things start to turn around, and they will be the leaders when things start to turn around in your industry. I learned that a long time ago from Zig Ziglar, who said that he never participated. This is like 1990, right? So I'm old. So he said in a room that I was in that that he doesn't participate in recessions. He didn't participate in a recession. And I'm like, oh my God, who knew you could do that? Right? I don't want to participate in a recession. And I have not participated in one since the early 1990s.
Amazing. And I get it. All these so-called rules, when you really look at them, don't be a chess piece. Be a chess master. Zoom out and ask yourself, how can I move the board? Right? And that's what you're talking about. And you're talking about it from real world experience, not just writing it at a coffee shop to sell a daggone book. This is somebody who's been there, done that. Okay. Made mistakes, thought they stunk, and then they did it again and figured it out. On that note, you teach entrepreneurs how to pull in customers quickly, right? Authentically, without breaking the bank on that note. So can you give us your favorite or one of your favorite low cost, no cost strategies that works pretty quickly for most?
Speaking, right? You can listen. Did you charge me to speak here today?
No,
right? No. You can speak in a lot of places for free. Now, does that mean I don't pay to speak? Absolutely not. I buy sponsorships all the time to speak. I also do my own 3-day events where who do you think is the speaker? Jean Kuhn is the speaker all day, every day, right?
Right.
So speaking is your very fastest way to make more money. It's about getting on enough stages because the average entrepreneur, if you're really good at speaking for leads, I want to make sure that we understand that you should never go out and speak just to speak unless you're getting paid a lot of money for it. Let's talk about 5 figures, right? If you're not making 5 figures or more to go out and speak, you should not be speaking. I go out and speak for free every day. And I will tell you, I would get I get paid more in the long run than anybody would ever pay me for a keynote, an hour-long keynote,
Oh, thank
right?
you.
So speaking, fastest path to cash.
But because if correct me if I'm wrong, Gene, I'll put this in less eloquent speak.
Okay,
If you have a steakhouse and you're grand opening a steakhouse, you want a bunch of hungry steak eaters, correct?
correct.
That's what you mean. You're like, well, it's nothing wrong. It takes a lot of work, and some people do it. We have Steve Spiro on, right? He does. He goes out and speaks, and people pay him to do so. But for the rest of us, it looks like, well, we're just talking for free. You're saying, hey, don't show up to a vegan show if you have a steakhouse. You're talking about showing up to hungry steak eaters and go, oh my goodness, I'm so glad Gene and her business is here, right?
And it's about saying, and hey, you hungry steak eater, come with me. I can show you where all the other steak is, right? I'll show you where more steak is. So yeah, you've got to be able to speak your ideal client's language, whatever that is. Meaning your messaging has to be so clear that they cannot mistake the fact that the message is for them.
See, yeah, the hounds hear me say it all the time, so I am so excited when you say it because I know you're going to say it. It's just true. Truth is true, right? It doesn't discriminate.
Yeah.
That's why we call it truth. And what you're talking about, what you're so good at, Gene, is, in my opinion and experience, is that you take the principles because we have to abide by the principles, right? I can't jump off a 10-story building, flap my arms, and hope I fly. You have
Right.
to understand the principles. But what you're so good at is there's a big area, like a football field. As long as you don't go out of bounds, you can do a lot of your own stuff. You can, like you, rubber ducky. It could have been a million other ideas, right? It
Right.
could have worked because you followed the principles. And that's what you're so daggum good at in teaching people, especially the marketing aspect. Right. That's what you enjoy doing. You love teaching people this, right?
Man, I loved, yeah. I'm working with a client right now on a signature talk he has to give next week, right? And we were just talking about this morning about speaking to them so that they can hear you. They can't hear you if you're not talking their language, right?
Oh,
If you're not saying if you're not answering what their biggest problem is when you're speaking, you are speaking for free and wasting your time and theirs, right? But if you go in and you're speaking for free and you know what now listen, it doesn't have to be all your ideal clients, and it's okay that you're not, right? It's okay that you're not. But when you speak your message that your ideal clients have a problem with and they can hear it, they self-identify. And you know what else? The people who the message is not for, they also self-identify. So when I go in to speak to a room, Mike, I immediately want to divide the room. Like we don't have enough division in this country already, but that's besides the point. But for me, it's about going in and dividing the room immediately. Are you on Team Gene or are you on not Team Gene? Right? I'm okay either way. Right?
oh, okay. First of all, Deborah Jackson of Bella Grace. Okay, she is phenomenal. There she is. She says she's going to connect. She just locked in a call with you.
Awesome.
Wow.
Hey, Deborah.
Yeah. Oh, you too. Birds of a feather flock together, dadgummit. All right. And say before I want to push this. I got to. All right, you said bankruptcy doesn't scare me. Boring marketing does. Okay, if I got that right. Why is boring so dangerous for business? You talked about this earlier, but I think there's something here.
You know what? One of the books I'm reading right now is what the heck's it called? First Fans First. No, My Yellow Tux. Wear Your Yellow Tux, I think it's what it's called. And it's by Jesse Cole, right? And he talks a lot about this too, about your marketing has to be so different than everybody else. So you even have an inkling of standing out from your competition. And everybody now today, listen, COVID is the worst thing that ever happened to business owners. Listen, I know for other people it was bad, but for business owners, it was the worst because they were shut down and not being allowed to do business, right? Until they figured out how to pivot that.
Yeah.
But they all only could do it one way, through social media, right? Or that's what they thought, right? That's what they thought. But there's a lot of other ways that I made money during COVID by not hurting people, but by inviting them in to let me help them for free to start with. And then they became a client, right? So put your yellow tux on first. And that's a great book, by the way. He's the guy who started the Savannah Bananas, if you don't know who Jesse Cole is. So getting out there and marketing yourself differently from everybody else is what's going to win for you. Doing it like your competition, you're just one more schmo.
You're talking to a guy in a camo hat. I tell people, this ain't a costume. You meet me for a few minutes, you'll know that's the truth. I did Larry the Cable Guy in reverse, right? No, the sad part is that 40 years before that, where I wore a suit, brushed my teeth, combed my hair, took a bath, that was the problem. And I won't get into it, but somebody tried to help me the other day. I'll make a short video so you can laugh with me.
Okay.
All right. We're going to be pressed for time, but Jean, I have to know, and the folks out there listening, if you had to boil it all down, right? What's one thing every entrepreneur listening can do now this week to pull in more customers, more money, and more time, other than going to your website and pulling that down?
Picking up the phone, telling somebody what you do, and making them an offer. It's that simple.
And if they say no, who do you know that could be?
Absolutely. But the other piece is can you also, that's the problem, that, right? People are just too afraid to be said no to, right? Yep. It hurts their feelings to be, I don't like to do it either. I don't like to do it either. But when you really call to sincerely help somebody, when you know they're hurting, it's no different than saying, hey, buddy, I know you've got a problem here. Maybe it's a drug problem or an alcohol problem. And it's like, I know you're hurting. How about if we get you into some sort of rehab to help you? It's the same thing with business.
I'm going to lose it. All right, gold nugget. I even put in the chat. You plant seeds. I don't know how many times, Jean, I'm not going to speak for you, but I don't know how many times somebody went, nah, no, thank you, get out of here. Even sometimes was not nice, only to come back months or even years later and go, oh, hey, oops, or I'm ready now. Have you seen that as well?
No, I haven't. I will say that everybody who I'm almost 100% of the people I've ever called has just said, no, thank you, right? No, thank you, but thank you for calling, right? Thank you for calling, whether they've done business with me or not, because you know what? Even the crappiest marketer that picks up the phone and calls me at dinner, I tell them, I immediately say, thank you for calling. I'm not interested. Have a great day.
There you go. Always kind, but you're firm. You got to guard your time. Yeah, because you serve a select people, and you'll do them a disservice if you're not dialed into those folks. And I love that about you. It's not that you're grumpy or anything. It's that you are dialed in to serve fully who you need to serve. And that is entrepreneurs, startups, scale-ups, people pivoting. Maybe you're already successful and you're trying a new chapter. That's really where Jean knows all about it. All right. So whether you're starting off or you're a super pro making the pivot, hey, go to jeansfreegift.com. All right. Go get those marketing strategies, test her. And folks, if it's not for you, share it with somebody who it could be a life saver for. So, Jean, I told them where to find you. Any other place, any other thing that you want? Where can folks learn more and connect with you? Or is that just the best place?
They can listen, pick up the phone and call me. My phone number is out there everywhere. It's probably on my website. It's definitely on my Facebook page, and it's probably on my LinkedIn page, right? I answer my phone for everybody. So when somebody calls me, that's the thing they're most shocked about, is that I will answer my own phone.
Yeah, you answer my call. That says it all. I mean, that takes a lot of determination.
You know, you can't be a people person and then not want to talk to people. You can't help people and then not want to take their calls. I had a coach once tell me, don't return their call for 2 to 3 days. Let them think you're really busy. That's bullshit. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
It is, though. It is.
It is.
Be yourself and go to jeansfreegift.com. Go figure out how to use the principles to be yourself and stop playing with this. The world needs you. All right. You have an impact to make, lives to change, businesses to grow. Get real. Start here, folks. Jean, we're out of time, but you are fantastic, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
All the hounds, people, friends of the hounds, thank you for tuning in. No strays out there. If you're trying to build a business, welcome home. All right. We have a group call. Reach out, say hello. Deborah, you are fantastic. All the folks in the audience. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Have a good one, y'all. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.